This is part 29 of Never Ever by a Clayton manufactured home. In our last video, we told you that billionaire Warren Buffett is the owner of Clayton Homes, who also owns the manufacturing company, the homeowners insurance company, and the finance company. And his first rule of business is never lose money. And his second rule is never forget rule number 1. Then I told you about all the federal and state agencies who are assigned to protect the consumer are not protecting the consumer at all. In fact, it's just the opposite. They're protecting you. The Office of the Inspector General of Federal HUD has blocked me. I can't even send him emails. Now let me show you an email we received from the Attorney General, where he writes, "Thank you for your most recent email. We appreciate you contacting the Office of the Attorney General. As I mentioned in our previous response, ultimate oversight of the state agencies such as the Texas Department of Housing and Community Affairs Manufactured Housing Division is maintained by the Texas legislator. You may wish to contact your legislators regarding your concerns. If you need assistance in determining who your legislators are, you may wish to contact your county tax assessor, collector's office, or use the Who Represents Me feature on the Texas Legislator online website." Not only have we contacted the legislators in our district, we've contacted every legislator in the state of Texas, and not one of them will help you. And I'm not going to tell you which one it was, but one of them had told me that I need to hire an attorney, and I quote, "An attorney can write a bill up and present it for future people with your issues and can hopefully take care of yours." And I said, "How about the representatives we have already contacted write the bill? Isn't that what they're supposed to do?" Needless to say, we had never heard from this person again. Let's see what else the Attorney General has to say. In Texas, the county or district attorney has primary jurisdiction to pursue alleged criminal violations of the law. They are granted extensive discretion in determining which cases will be prosecuted or whether or not those cases will proceed before a grand jury. This office can assist with criminal investigations and prosecutions at the request of your local officials. You may wish to share your concerns with the local prosecutors. Again, thank you for writing. Please feel free to contact the Office of the Attorney General if we may be of further assistance. I've called his office multiple times. We've sent him thousands of emails and documents and every video. And the only thing he's done is tell us to call somebody else. So we contacted the district attorney, and this is what he said. "I received and read both of your emails. I wanted to let you know that in Parker County, as in the majority of counties in Texas, we have both a county's attorney's office and a district attorney's office that prosecute criminal offenses. Our office, the district attorney's office, only handles felony offenses. The county attorney's office handles all of the misdemeanor offenses. In reviewing the information that you provided in a couple of your YouTube videos, the majority of the issues about which you complain are either not criminal in nature. In other words, there are civil but not criminal remedies within the statute, or are misdemeanor offenses, which would need to be directed the county attorney's office. The one exception to that which I noted was a concern about tampering with a governmental record. The record in question upon which you state that the false statement was made is not a governmental record. It is a record made involving private parties, specifically you or Clayton Homes or related non-governmental parties. I also wanted to let you know that neither our office nor the county attorney's office initiate our own cases. The cases that we work on need to go to various law enforcement agencies that work within our county to be investigated. Neither of our offices is set up with the staff and capacity to self-initiate investigations. So, if you want to have your case investigated, you would need to make a complaint about a criminal offense to the Parker County Sheriff's Office or the municipal police department in which your home is located. Also, the Attorney General's office could investigate a case and refer to us, as they are also organized in a way that would allow them to do so. So the last email we sent him was kind of a short 10-page summary of all of our videos. Part 1 tells the story of what happened in the beginning, and it has progressed from there. Part 2 shows the delivery. Part 3, A and B, show the damages. Part 4, A and B, show the first consumer complaint inspection. Part 5, A and B, show the second consumer complaint inspection. Part 6 shows how the damage actually occurred during installation. Part 7, A, B, C, and D start to show you what kind of people we're dealing with. Part 8 starts to show you all the people involved. Part 9 and 10 start to show you what they did. Part 11 through 16 shows all the crimes that the first consumer complaint inspector committed. Part 17 through 24 show all the crimes that the second consumer complaint inspector committed. Part 25, 26, 27, 28, and the one you're viewing right now, 29, are showing that Clayton Homes, the attorney of Clayton Homes, the Texas Department of Housing and Community Affairs Manufactured Housing Division, and NTA began their colluding and conspiring the moment we told them there was damage. So let's take a look at this. The majority of the issues about which we complain. So what about the issues that are not the majority? Do we just sweep those under the rug? And is that what you think we're doing? Complaining? You think we're overreacting? So we'd like you to go back and watch every video we've made before you come to the conclusion that we're complaining. Let's just go to the next one. The one exception to that which I noted was a concern about tampering with a governmental record, the record in question upon which you state that a false statement was made is not a governmental record. It is a record made involving private parties, specifically you or Clayton Homes or related non-governmental parties. This is the document he's referring to, where the general manager of Clayton Homes, Jeffy Levy, signed his name and printed his name to this document, which says, I verify that I am a licensed installer, that I am responsible for the installation described, and that the information supplied is true and correct, executed the 16th day of August 2019. Jeffy Levy was not the licensed installer. In fact, Jeffy Levy was licensed to participate in sales activity only and has since been terminated. And this is page 2 of 2 of Form T. This is page 1 of 2 of Form T. And it says right here, the Texas Department of Housing and Community Affairs Manufactured Housing Division. These are absolutely government records. Let's just go to the next one. So if you want to have your case investigated, you would need to make a complaint about a criminal offense to the Parker County Sheriff's Office or the municipal police department in which your home is located. Had he read the email like he said he did, He would have known that on page 6, we had already contacted his office, who informed us we must first make a police report. We contacted the Azle Police Department, who informed us this property falls under the jurisdiction of the Parker County Sheriff's Department. So we took the actual videos to the Parker County Sheriff's Department. They informed us that we needed to contact the Texas Licensing and Certification Board, which we did. They do not assist with criminal investigations or prosecutions and had no idea as to why someone would direct us to them. But we refused to give up, so this time we called the Parker County Sheriff's Department. And without warning, a high-ranking sheriff's deputy arrived to the property. We informed him about the corruption at the Texas Department of Housing and Community Affairs Manufactured Housing Division, and we had it on video. And he appeared to be unhappy about these accusations. He wasn't interested in viewing any of the evidence we had, and he kind of made us feel like we were the criminals and we were wasting his time. I knew it wasn't going to go anywhere. I thanked him for coming and let him out the gate. As he was departing the property, he told me that he doesn't doubt that there was damage, but it's a civil matter. I told him to watch the videos and provided him with the link. So let's see what else was in the email we sent to the district attorney. This is on the very first page. Page 1, where we informed him that the Vice President of NTA, Eric Tompax, violates HUD's 24 CFR 3286.511, which states the inspector must be independent of the manufacturer, the retailer, the installer, or any other person that has a monetary interest. So being retained by Wells and Collier PC on behalf of Clayton Homes is a big problem. But the district attorney made no mention of this. Let's see what else we got. This is page 2, where we informed him that there are 46 inaccuracies in our contract with Clayton Homes. One of these stating that the home is 2,244 square feet. And our application for statement of ownership states the same. But the executive director of the Texas Department of Housing and Community Affairs Manufactured Housing Division, James R. Hicks, signs his name to the original statement of ownership, which claims the house to be 2,078 square feet. They are both incorrect. The home is actually 1,942 square feet. Here is our actual application for statement of ownership. The state of Texas sends this application to Clayton Homes. Clayton Homes fills it out and sends it back to the state of Texas. Our home came in 2 separate sections, and on this application, it states that the first section is 66 foot long by 34 foot wide. Then it states that the second section is also 66 foot long at 34 foot wide with a grand total of 2,244 square feet. So if section 1 is 66 foot long by 34 foot wide and section 2 is also 66 foot long at 34 foot wide, that would make the total square footage of our house 4,488 square feet, not 2,244 square feet like our application states. According to this, we're missing a complete section to the house. So this is an incorrect state application. And the executive director of the Texas Department of Housing and Community Affairs Manufactured Housing Division, Jim R. Hicks, knows this state document is incorrect because he signs his name to our actual statement of ownership that has the Texas seal of approval stamped onto it. And it says that Section 1 is 15 foot by 66 foot, and Section 2 is 17 foot by 64 foot, with a grand total of 2,078 square feet. So how come our application for statement of ownership does not match the statement of ownership? These are two government records, and they're not worth the paper they're written on because they're both incorrect. This house is 1,942 square feet, and I can prove it. So the executive director, Jim R. Hicks, should have sent this application back to Clayton Homes and told them to fix it. But he did not, and he should resign immediately for being incompetent. Let's see what the next page says. This is page 3, where we told them that Car Mobile Home Service was captured on video destroying both halves of the house and the concrete foundation. Then we told them that an installation inspection was conducted from the Texas Department of Housing and Community Affairs Manufactured Housing Division, and State Inspector Derek Scroggins had flat out lied 8 times out of the 10 times in his report. And we have video evidence that backs up this claim, which is a violation of Section 37.10, tampering with governmental record. A person commits an offense if he knowingly makes a false entry in or false alteration of a governmental record, document, or thing with knowledge of its falsity, and with the intent that it be taken as genuine. He then states that he came back to the property on November 8th, 2019 to reinspect, but had deleted the notes and pictures to make room in his work cell phone. According to the audit that the state of Texas conducted on the regulatory activities of the Manufactured Housing Division, dated October 2019, report number 20-002, page 6 states the following. Clarify in a field bulletin to staff that any documentation related to deviations found during an installation inspection must be included with the permanent record. The SOP 2509.01 for installation inspections has been updated to reflect this information, and Field Bulletin 2020-001 issued to alert staff. This is State Inspector Derek Scroggins' installation inspection report, and it's absolutely a fraudulent government record, and it's a crime. This is page 4, and on this page we informed him that the attorney of Southern Energy Homes and Clayton Homes, Brent Wells, circulated a letter which accused us of having a wrist-wringing emotional demand about having allegedly received a manufactured home riddled with defects is not only grossly overstated, it's factually incorrect. And he also accused me of having threatening, vulgar, abusive, violent, and racist behaviors. Mr. Wells had never been to the property. Mr. Wells had never met nor spoken to us. And this would violate Rule 4.01 truthfulness in statements to others. This guy is anything but truthful. Mr. Wells also ordered the first consumer complaint inspection from the Texas Department of Housing and Community Affairs Manufactured Housing Division and added in these lies. The first consumer complaint inspection was conducted on January 15th, 2020 by State Inspector Jimmy Turner. And this inspection was captured on video in its entirety. And according to Section 1201.356 Report and Order Amendment Compliance, the report shall specify each of the Consumer's Complaints. And in Section 80.73, Procedures for Handling Consumer Complaints. The person conducting the inspection shall inspect all matters relating to the home and or the installation of the home, set forth in the complaint and any other items raised at the inspection. This video captured Inspector Turner lying and colluding with the service manager on multiple occasions. Inspector Turner orders 6 warranty items for the manufacturer, the retailer, and the installer to correct while failing to disclose 62 videoed and documented items. This is a violation of Section 39.02, Abuse of Official Capacity. A public servant commits an offense if, with the intent to obtain a benefit or with the intent to harm or defraud another, he intentionally and knowingly violates a law relating to the public servant's office or employment. We paid $118,605.94 for this house. We have another $25,000 into the concrete foundation. We paid for skirting twice, and there are other items that Clayton Homes had cheated us out of. The price of this home has well exceeded $150,000. So State Inspector Jimmy Turner's fraudulent governmental inspection report is a felony. So we're going to have to continue the remainder of page 4 through 10 in our next video. There are several other items that the district attorney did not mention, and we're going to show them to you. I think he wants us to believe that there's nothing to see here. The evidence we have gathered against Clayton Homes, the attorney of Clayton Homes, the Texas Department of Housing and Community Affairs Manufactured Housing Division, and NTA is absolutely undeniable, which we will get to the bottom of. This part of the video has consumed more time than I had anticipated on. So we will be unable to document any of the fraudulent inspection report of the criminal Vice President of NTA, Eric Tompax. But I want Miss Tampas to rest assured that we have not forgotten about her, and we will get to her in the next video. In the last video we had released a few weeks ago, we had accumulated 144,659 views with 378 subscribers. And now we have 159,047 views with 414 subscribers. Do you think any of these viewers were potential buyers? Read the comments on the videos. So please like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment. And remember to never, ever buy a Clayton manufactured home. Thanks for watching. See you in a couple weeks.